All right, we're over here at this house today, about to turn a modified roof system, a completely flat roof system. One part of the house has like a half on 12, very minimum slope on this main part of the house. But we have our Isoboard structural rigid foam board that we're gonna create a tapered system with. Got the guys getting set up. This is our Galvalume mill finish. We hand broke all that, or manufactured on bullnose drip edge. See, it's got a 1-inch lip on it, and that's what the panel is going to come and lock into. And this is our panel right here that we're going to install. This is a standing seam roof panel that we manufacture ourselves. We have the roll forming machines, Englert, and we're able to come out to the job, and don't matter how long the panel is, if it's 10 foot, 50 foot, 70 foot, we're able to roll form it from as long as it is from the eave to the ridge, or whatever the measurement we need, we'll be able to roll form it. Take a look at what we're dealing with. Like I said, this roof has been plagued with problems. It's completely flat. The only other choices that other roofers offer is a modified roof system, which is a completely flat, torch down or hot mop or glue down system. We're going to convert this roof where it'll last this homeowners a lifetime, literally 100+ years or more. We're going to take that rigid foam board out there, it's called an Isoboard, and create a tapered system from the back of the house right here on this roof to wall junction all the way to the eave, and allow that water to drain off, whereas it's ponding now and posing a major issue. This is probably like the third or fourth modified roof this house has had since it's been built, maybe longer, more than that. So we can see this house go from a modified low slope roof system to a standing seam commercial grade metal roof system. So we're sitting there doing the ISO system. You can see where this Isoboard system creates a taper. You have these intermediate 2-inch fillers, and then you got a slightly tapered one that goes on top, because when you go from the eave of a house and the distance from this eave, which is the edge, the leading roof edge, all the way over to the back of the house, the thickness of the slope has to go, because you're going from 1/4 on 12 all the way back. From this distance is about 21 feet from the eave to the roof to wall junction, or butts to house. So at the highest point, this Isoboard is going to be about 6 inches, 5.5, 6 inches. So this roof already has a slight slope to it, so we will not have to put Isoboard on this roof. We do got some damaged decking that's unnailable, unscrewable. You can see D-ply and delamination on this roof right here. See how the wood just comes apart there. So we wouldn't be able to drive a nail into that, nor actually put a screw into it either, because over time with the heat, this house was probably built in the 1950s, early 60s. This CDX, over time, the glue starts breaking down on it, and it starts wanting to delaminate and becomes extremely weak. That's why we got to replace some of this wood on this. Two problems: either water soaked, where water got to it, or the delamination of the plywood. And here's another good look of us installing that ISO system. Good scan of the property, of all the stuff we got to replace before we start putting the metal panels down. We're going to dry this roof in with a high temp pill and seal. And this is about midway. And you'll start seeing the panels go down on the next video, so we can collage all this stuff together. There we go. So we're back over the house that we've been shooting with the low slope roof system. We're actually roll forming the panels now. And this thing is forming these panels coming out of this machine. We're Englert certified contractors. We got 2 roll form machines, a 1-inch snap block and an 1 3/4 snap block. We can do them 30, 40, 50, 60 feet from the eave to the ridge, whatever it takes. It's a process that nobody else in town can really do, unless they have the roll formers and the knowledge to get this done. So we just came over here to the house over here on Mayapple Avenue, where we're doing the metal roof at. We spit the panels out last week. Coming over here, starting to install panels. There's Daniel there, Hercules. Yeah, along that panel is about 30-footer there about to throw up on the roof. So let's get up here. You've seen the transformation of this roof from a flat modified roof with ISO board to a standing seam roof. So you remember the roof last week where we were ripping the roof off, had tons of wood damage. It was modified flat roof on here before. Now we put a standing seam 1 3/4 snap block panel on this roof, and it's 24 gauge. These guys are doing a excellent job installing it. You see right here on this 1 3/4 panel, it's got a clip there that has 2 screws, and this clip locks in over this panel edge. It's got a locking mechanism where this side of the panel locks into this side of the panel by pushing down by sheer friction, and the bracket holds it to the roof with these 2 screws. And these brackets are put out about every 16 to 18 inches, sometimes 12 inches, depending on the slope of the roof. This lower area is the area that we put the ISO board system, the tapered system on there. We put a 1/4 inch on 12 slope, and I showed you the ISO system going down last week, but now we got the panels down over top of that. See the ISO board, how thick it is on the back end. And then the Z closure will not allow water to backpedal on the back side of that metal and go underneath the underlayment or affect the ISO board. You can see the roof to wall junctions underneath there, Z closure going against the wall, where we're gonna put siding and run some L flashing out across the Z molding there, close everything up. But we just turned a completely flat roof into a tapered galvalume standing seam metal roof system. And this roof it's gonna last the homeowners 100+ years or more with this system in place.